So David, welcome on board to Apogee Global RMS as the VP of Leadership Transformation. Talk to me a little bit about your passion in this field of leadership, maybe how that started and how now is the right time for you to take that into the business world.
Yeah, so first of all, thanks. I'm extremely excited about taking on the role as the VP for Leadership Transformation at Apogee Global. Like you, my career started in the military. You being a Naval Academy grad, I was a West Point grad. And I've been in the trenches of leader development my entire life. I put the uniform on at 18, and I didn't take it off until 52. A lot of formative experience as I grew. Had a lot of great mentors that provided me the opportunity to learn, lead, fail, innovate. And as my career progressed in different jobs and responsibilities, I learned a passion and a love for education. So I got a master's in adult education. And I really started to understand how understanding, the human dimension was very applicable to leadership. Part of leading is help educating people, and there's a lot that goes into it. It's complex. But over the years, I've had such great experiences, and I think our meeting was almost like inevitable. And I think the passion that you bring and what I saw in you, and my passion for passing on what I have learned to help other people grow, because at the end of the day, it's about people. And it's about empowering people and organizations, and that is where the power is. And so I looked at the Apogee mission, I've seen what you've done, and I think just my life experiences kind of culminated at this point in time to marry up with you and your team and take this to the next level.
So the priority of Apogee Global is around people development, both as a component of business, but also for individual professional growth. How important has your leadership maturity been to you over time? Like, I'm sure that the leader that you are today is probably light years away from the leader that you started at when you were a young 18-year-old, took that oath for the first time. What's that maturation look like for you?
The maturation has been, seeing at a young level, an early level, like an individual level, the power that organization leaders can have on one. And once you amplify that across the board, the power that has on an organization. So I was very fortunate enough throughout my career at a young level to have people see in me what I couldn't see in myself. As a young specialist in Germany, when I was a tanker, when I first came into the Army, my company commander called my father on the phone and said, "Your son needs to be an officer." Behind the scenes, they kind of put this packet together for me to go to the prep school. And as it started to unfold, I started to understand what happened. But it was that event where somebody took time to invest in me, to give me an opportunity that I never saw myself, nor would I ever taken. It just opened my aperture up to an amazing level, so that as I moved on in my career, I saw the power of that. Initially is I need to invest in other people to help them grow. And then as I had great mentors and, was able to be in leadership labs and many experiences in combat, like on the line, being empowered to make decisions, I saw the amazing impact that a leader can have on a team. And then I was able to take that to the collective level, to the broader organizational level, to help develop organizations to the point where, our organization, through the efforts of many people, was second in command of an organization of 5,000, was identified as the best organization, in the Department of the Army. But that was through a collective effort, but what started, with a thought at one and how, the ripple effect.
I think the point you make about having someone identify that this was a possibility, a pathway for you, is an important thread, because I've seen it actually replicated in nearly every, I'll say, strong leader's life. I've had the opportunity in the course of the Leadership Student podcast to talk to lots of individuals who look back on their own matriculation in leadership, and all of them, I think, point to either an individual or a scenario where they were identified, picked out, someone poured into them, someone gave them the opportunity to begin thinking of themselves as a leader, and it ultimately resulted in them believing themselves that they could become leaders.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That's an important concept.
So I've read a lot of the products that are on your website. I understand that you were a Naval Academy graduate, spent a lot of time in the FBI, public-private sector. What inspired you? Doing a startup isn't easy in today's world. I mean, what inspired you to pour so much love and effort into this, idea of Apogee Global RMS?
Yeah, Apogee Global didn't come to me overnight. It's the result of many, many years of experience and my own leadership journey, my own development as a professional, ultimately arriving at a conclusion that the importance that I bring to any one particular industry really revolves around how much I'm helping people achieve what it is that they want to achieve. And with that single thought in mind, it led me to the idea of how am I best positioned as an individual with all of this deep leadership experience to actually help people in their own careers. And how that's manifested itself in terms of Apogee Global is I now have built a consultancy where our intent and our mission is to spend time developing individuals in their leadership skills, their career pathing and development, recruiting efforts in terms of identifying jobs for people that are either journeymen in the industry or executives who are ready for that next executive role. And then, of course, the third pillar being the Speakers Bureau, which is this, I see it as sort of a synergistic third arm of the organization that brings in dynamic speakers, people with deep leadership experience. And I see that all sort of in the same orbit, if you will, all of this stuff operating in the same orbit. And the idea here was to, how can you help people? How can you turn it into something that people can be passionate about? And ultimately, how can you help companies scale their businesses and grow? And my proposition is that I can help you scale, I can help you grow if you will invest in the people in your teams, which are the most important resource that you have. And I want to help companies do that.
So if people had a choice between multiple entities, why would they pick MK and Apogee?
I think part of that is because we are passionate about the topic. All of the people that are engaged in this project, if you will, are folks that come with deep leadership experience. As you know, I don't like to use the term expert or expertise, but at the same time, when evaluating the field, I've seen folks who are leadership coaches, who are leadership development, quote unquote, experts, who have not spent any time in the trenches. And it's my intent to build a cadre of leaders within Apogee Global that are all deeply experienced leaders. And all of us, I think, can use those experiences to help inform a better business outcome. So the differentiator for us is that deep expertise that we bring to the table, or deep experience, I should say, that our leaders bring to the table, and our passion for helping people grow. It will not be a successful engagement on my part or on the part of Apogee if at the end of that engagement, the people who are at the center of it don't experience some personal growth in terms of their interaction with us, the delivery of the workshops that we do, the one-on-one coaching. I desire to see those folks come out on the other end of that with a new experience that they can look back on and say, that was pivotal for me. It helped me change the nature of my understanding of this game. And I'm going to take those tools, those experiences into the new engagements that I can go into and as I develop as a leader.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be on the team.
All right.
To see where this goes.
Let's do it.
Yeah.